So, okay. So I am recording. And so welcome everyone. We're so happy that you're here with us. And tonight we decided, as Catherine's been saying, we're gonna pamper ourselves. So we decided to do a little bit about spa treatments and essential oils. So just want to mention to begin with that as a safety disclaimer, this has not been evaluated by the FDA, and so our statements presented are from us. There are no claims or any medicinal value to these formulas, products, or oils. So it should not be used as a substitute for medical counseling. If you need counseling, you need to use a healthcare professional. So just want to make that clear. And just to mention that Young Living oils are 100% plant-based. They're naturally derived ingredients. They are vegan friendly and cruelty-free, so we know they're not tested on animals. And they're formulated without any parabens or sulfates or phthalates, petrochemicals, animal-derived ingredients, synthetic preservatives, synthetic fragrances, or any synthetic dyes or colorants. So I know that's what I like using, so I hope you do too. And we're going to start off, we're going to be going from head to toe tonight, and our first area will be our hair. And I don't know how everyone else feels now, but I think people are talking a lot about their hair because a lot of people haven't been able to get their hair cut or colored or taken care of. So we'll start with our hair. So I don't know if anyone has used Young Living, any of the products, but I use the shampoo and the conditioner, and I've used each one of the different varieties that they have. So the lavender mint, the Copaiba vanilla, and the lavender volume. In fact, I'm using the Copaiba vanilla right now. I like to vary them and try different things. They do slightly different, have slightly different abilities with them. So the lavender mint will cleanse and nourish. The Copaiba vanilla is a hydrating and it helps with if your hair is damaged. And the lavender shampoo will cleanse and strengthen, as well as the conditioner. Is anyone here, have anyone ever used the products? I guess not.
I'm a lavender volumizing person. I use that all the time. I really, really enjoy that one.
Okay.
You know what, my question, Vicki, did you ever try using one of their shampoos and a different conditioner? It just dawned on me. I'd like to try.
Oh, you mean,
I mean, I can
match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I don't know if there's a difference, but it's, you know, I have.
Okay.
So then, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's Marcia here. I use them.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite one, Marcia?
Well, I like the volume.
Me too. I use the volumizer too.
Okay. So we're going to talk about some of the best essential oils for your hair besides that product. So these are ones, I don't know if you have all of them, but they're ones that you might have. Lavender for hair growth and your scalp health. And if you have oily hair, it's beneficial. Tea tree helps with dandruff and hair loss. Cedar wood will do dandruff, hair loss, and also if your hair is oily. So it's interesting how they can do multiple things. As we know, oils don't just do one thing. So I'm not surprised at that. Rosemary, I've always known rosemary for hair loss. And I learned also that it also works with oily hair. Ylang ylang if you have a dry scalp. Peppermint helps with your hair growing. Thyme will be hair loss and alopecia, which basically is hair loss and thinning. Sandalwood helps with dry ends. Clary sage will promote hair growth and stimulate the scalp. And chamomile adds shine and softness to your hair and will soothe your scalp. So when we say these things, to me, it's really important to know if there have been any clinical trials or how do we know that these really help in some way. So here's 3 trials that I found. And peppermint oil was shown to promote hair growth, and it didn't have any, toxic side effects. There was one rosemary oil. I've always known rosemary, but this trial compared it to minoxidil, which is a common prescriptive treatment for hair loss. And in the study, they both had the same efficacy. So after 3 to 6 months, they were the same, but the rosemary oil had fewer side effects. So that's important to me. And cedarwood also was studied and also helped with alopecia. So just something that's nice to know that there is some research that's done on this. Then I wanted to share a couple tips about hair. So this is something I didn't know, that frizzy hair is caused by a lack of moisture in your hair and not by the humidity. So when your tresses are really, or your hair is not doing well, the cuticle becomes very rough. And that roughness allows the hair's outer layer to absorb the moisture from the air, causing the strands to swell and frizz. So the more damage you have, the more frizz you're going to have. So things to realize that damage your hair are using blow dryers, or curling irons, and chemicals, hot water, any kind of over processing. And also, if you don't get enough haircuts, you really do need to get that trim once in a while. It'll keep your hair from being damaged. So interesting thought. And then oily hair and scalp, it's really caused by an overproduction of sebum. So some of those oils that will help with an oily scalp and hair could be very beneficial for you. Even though it's an essential oil, it's not going to make your hair oily. And then I think a lot of us get very impatient. We think if we start treating our hair that in, overnight or in a week, our hair is going to be better. But it can really take up to 6 months of consistent use to really see significant results. Wanted to share another product. This is one that I do use. It's a hair oil that Young Living makes. And what's nice about it, it not only has some very lovely oily oils, so the camellia seed, the grapeseed oil, argan oil, those oils as well as essential oils in it. And it will help with frizz and flyaways, and it just is a very nice treatment for your hair. And one of the things, there's one of the ingredients, I'll just mention that, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Manoi flower extract. It's a Tahitian flower that is mixed with coconut oil, and apparently very good for hair. And just a mention of what some of the fatty oils are that we mix our essential oils with. So almond oil, it'll soothe your scalp and moisturize it. Coconut oil also softens your hair and will increase shine. Jojoba moisturizes, adds nutrients, it stimulates your scalp. And argan moisturizes, nourishes, and provides antioxidants to your hair. So of these, I routinely use both coconut oil and argan oil on my hair all the time. So I'm a firm believer. I haven't tried almond or jojoba. Lily or Catherine, have you?
No, the argan and the coconut is my go-tos.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
sure.
Do you put it on like after you take your shower and wash your hair, then you put on coconut oil?
So what I do, I sometimes do, just a little bit in my hands and rub it through my hair, especially in the winter time, because I know it says not to really use a blow dryer, but in the winter I do use a blow dryer so that I can dry my hair quickly and take Rusty out, my dog. And but in the summer now, I don't need to blow dry it. And I sometimes put a little bit of either argan or coconut on my hands while my hair is still wet and run it through and then let it just dry like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah. So argan I use every morning. Coconut oil I'll use occasionally. If my hair seems to be extra dry or needs a little bit of increased shine, I'll do the coconut. Have you ever tried it, Irma?
Well, my hair is so greasy that I would never think about that.
Right.
So it's just interesting to bring that up. I don't know. I think it would just like flatten my hair more so.
And it might, it would be, yeah, it would be interesting to see.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And then, so here's a technique or a treatment that you can use on your hair. And we talked about the different components of the oil. So you could pick the oil that you want. If your hair is oily, you can still do this and add the appropriate essential oil like lavender or cedarwood. And so you would take several drops of the oil and mix it with your carrier oil. And again, your choice could be any of the ones we just talked about. And in the morning, if that's when you shower, if you shower at night and wash your hair, whichever time it is, put it in your hand, rub it, and then rub it through your scalp. I don't know if you can see me, but I would just rub it all through the scalp and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, then shampoo your hair. And then if you do that maybe once a week, I mean, over time, you will certainly see the benefits of doing that. And I think it's just really nice. A head massage is wonderful, even if you're doing it to yourself. So the one different part is Ylang Ylang. So with this one, you can mix, let's say 5 drops to some tablespoons, and they're saying warm oil. Massage it into your scalp the same way, but then wrap your head with a warm towel. Leave that on for 30 minutes before washing it out.
That sounds really
That
nice.
sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, I want to try that. Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't feel I have the time in the morning to do that, but I could certainly do that like later in the day or in the evening. But it sounds like fun. And that was it for hair. Do we have any questions on hair before we move on to the face?
If I was concerned about hair loss, the ideas that you were talking about, the alopecia, if I have alopecia, you're saying rub that in every night?
I would do that every night. I would take like rosemary. I'd probably make up a solution, and have it in a bottle of, can I ask if anyone's moving around, if they could mute themselves, please? I would take a small bottle, have the oil, the carrier oil and my essential oil, so I'd have it available every night, and I'd rub some right into the areas that you're concerned about. You know it's going to go in, it really won't be greasy.
It won't be, so it won't stay in the pillowcase.
No, I don't expect, no, but if, do it and wait a couple minutes. I mean, I wouldn't go right to bed.
So the oils directly, or with the carrier oil?
With the carrier oil. Yeah, you really shouldn't try. I mean, you could certainly try it. Lily, have you ever done it without carrier oil?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, so if you feel comfortable that you don't have a problem with the oil, that it's not, your skin's not sensitive to it, then I would do it without the oil, the carrier oil, and you won't have to worry at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, because it will dissolve in really quickly, as essential oils do.
Yeah. So there were 3 choices, I think: cedarwood, the rosemary,
Okay.
and was it peppermint or lavender? Can't remember now. But there's 3 options there for hair loss, which would be very nice. And I would try it. And over time, I think I have a little spot that's getting a little thinner here, and I'm going to start doing that every night.
Mm-hmm. I pretty much like to, it just sort of happens like that. Whatever I'm using on me, then it always, I face it in my hair, it's just kind of part of the ritual,
Oh, so whatever you're putting on your face, you then put into your hair?
No, essential oils.
The oils.
If I'm using like on my body, I usually wind up doing that, except for peppermint, of course, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. So we'll move on to the face, and we'll move on to Lily. And Lily, do you want me to?
No, yes, please. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
And I'll just watch the screen here. Thank you.
Okay, and you just tell me when you want me to move to the next
Okay,
step.
yeah, well, let's do it.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the art projects, ART. This is like Young Living's line that they have it for total care of your skin, your face. And I just really love it. I've really gotten into it in the last year or so. So we have a cleanser, we have a toner, and we have an ultimate intensive moisturizer. There's way more products on their line than we're going to be able to talk about tonight because there's so many of them, but we'll just start with the basics. So the toner,
Oh, wait.
the cleanser. I love the cleanser because it's foamy and it's very, very light. And I like that about it, you know, and it doesn't feel like you're like scrubbing your face or something like that. It's really delightful, and has some of the best oils in it certainly for skincare: frankincense, sandalwood, melissa, lavender, and this mascula flower is actually orchid. It's actually orchid. So it turns out that, you know, orchids aren't just beautiful, although they are exquisitely beautiful. They're very unique in their restorative power and effect. They reduce appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and they're highly antioxidant, and they have this ability to restore and rejuvenate, anti-inflammatory, and of course fight free radicals, which is a big thing in any kind of care, really, in your internal and external body. They're high, and also the orchids, it turns out, are very high in vitamin E and C, which makes them like really very effective as free radical fighters. So, and that is in both the cleanser and the toner. So then we'll go on to the toner. So the toner's great. I love the toner because it makes my face feel very plump. And it's almost like a little sticky at first. It feels like a little sticky kind of thing. But I mean, it's just really lovely. I mean, and that sticky thing only lasts for a little bit and then it goes away. And I just feel like my face is so clean after both of these. The thing about the toner that's really great is that it balances the pH in your skin, and it reduces the appearance of the pores. And of course, it definitely tones and refreshes and has that really lovely feeling of, you know, just sort of being scrubbed clean, except it's very gentle. You're not actually being scrubbed, but I mean, my face feels like very plump and clean, you know, after the cleanser and the toner. And then there's this remarkable next product, which should be the intensive moisturizer. Well, I have to just say, this is such a power pack. I had no idea. I mean, I love this moisturizer, but I never really, you know, sat down to investigate exactly what was in it. And so when I was preparing for this, I was like, you know, what is this procoxy seed and bluebird hibiscus oil, you know? I'm like, that sounds very exotic. And so it turns out that the procoxy seed is mostly from the Amazon rainforest area, Costa Rica, Trinidad and Tobago kind of area. And it's been used by the indigenous population there for a very long time for medicinal and cosmetic purposes. And the thing about it is that it is extremely high in fatty acids. It's extremely potent to heal wounds. And it also has this ability to enhance anything else that it's with. Penetration enhancer is what they call it. So it's very good for damaging skin and reducing redness and all. There is a site that I was reading about this seed oil on, and the site is Scargenics, SCAR Genics, GENICS, all one word.com. And there are just amazing photos there about the ability for that this oil has in healing really serious wounds and surgical wounds and all. Very impressive. But anyway, Young Living really did their work seeking out, these oils. And the other one, the bluebird hibiscus, which I think is rather eccentric as well. It turns out that it has the nickname of Botox plant in the industry because it has a natural firming ability. And it's very good for all types of skin, but especially aging skin. And, it can reverse the damage of harmful UV rays. So the intensive moisturizer is just such a gift. And then the oils in it, the hinoki is a Japanese cypress that is a wonderful oil just for relaxation and all. Actually, hinoki is one of the oils that's used a lot in Japan, like for any kind of hands-on healing Reiki type treatments. I remember reading about it in a Reiki book once about how, they smudge or either diffuse with hinoki. So it's a cypress tree that's native to Japan. It's also very beautiful. And of course, sandalwood, cedarwood, ylang ylang, and frankincense, well, they're kind of top of the line as far as for your skin, certainly. In many respects, but certainly for your skin.
So Lily, you sold me. I'm going to order it in my next order.
Oh, the intensive moisturizer, yeah.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah, it's really great. Okay, so the next is, I think it's, the cleansing oil. Now, the cleansing oil is so cool because if you don't want to use water, you don't want to scrub your face, all that, this is just like so soothing. I love the way this feels. It's just like, oh, thank you. And what I like to do is after I put it on, I like to fill a basin with really hot water and put a little towel in there and, a hand towel and soak it up and wring it out and put it on my face. And so it's like really warm and it's just feels good with the oil and the warmness to it. It's really great. And there again, it just, it doesn't have like a greasy kind of feel to it. It seems to like really sink in your skin, makes your skin like really soft. And one of the oils that's in this, which is not on here, is it's called marula, Marula, which is South African origin and has been used there for centuries. And it's used to protect the weather and the conditions of southern Africa, and it's also used as a lip moisturizer, this marula oil, and it's also very high in protein, which makes it very absorbable on the skin. This is wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so next we have the cream mask. This is like, I like this because it's so light. I can put this on and forget that it's on. And, and then it's like maybe an hour later, I'm like, oh, that's right. Because it's just like a very light kind of, and you just take it off with some water. But the hyaluronic acid is the big deal in the cream mask because it turns out that this is like a naturally occurring substance in the skin. It's actually a sugar molecule that's naturally occurring in the skin, and the water binds to it, and so that increases the hydration and makes your skin like very plump and dewy, and it's good for all skin types. I love the cream mask. There are other masks that Young Living has that are heavier, or you could even make your own with some clay and essential oil, but this is a very light one. And I really enjoy this one, yeah. And then we have, the rose ointment. Now, I always say this is the best kept secret. This rose ointment is amazing. It's just amazing. I first start working with it with animals to put on hot spots or, any kind of like healing that needed to be done. They always say, after you put the essential oils on, put this rose ointment on top because it like seals it in, But it's, for facial care, it's amazing because this sea buckthorn, the essential oil sea buckthorn is an amazing essential oil. Young Living does not sell it separately, but I had read about it many years ago. I made a point to find it because it's used in a lot of upscale, high-end beauty products, the sea buckthorn, and it's very, very high in vitamin A and E, and again that makes it a really good free radical scavenger, and very good for healing wounds and restoring the skin tissue. And then we have that marula oil, that fatty oil that I spoke about earlier, that was also in that cleanser that we looked at. So it's a very powerful thing. And what was really funny was that I just sort of got in the habit with the rose ointment because it's so light. I got in the habit of smoothing it onto my lips, and I have to say it is just the best for lips. And then I was reading about one of the oils, the marula oil, like that's actually how it's used or has been used traditionally as a lip moisturizer. So I thought, oh, well, that's interesting because it just seems like you want to do that with it because it's just light and feels so good. And I also have used that a lot on my hands, like, in the winter time when it gets really cold and your hands get really crackly and all, like the top part of my hand always gets like that, and I'll put an essential oil on and then the rose ointment over. And the carrot seed essential oil I have to mention because that's one that's not too well known, but it's just an amazing seed essential oil for healing. The carrot seed oil, really good for mature skin, and Young Living does sell it separately. So, you can make your own things, create your own things for your face with any of these oils, but the carrot seed is a really good one. I've read a lot about that and mature skin healing, and of course patchouli is my favorite. So yeah.
Lily, can I ask, what is the fragrance like? It's an interesting combination of.
I know, it doesn't, it's very sort of, it's not pronounced.
Yeah, it's very delicate. I don't even.
Very delicate.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I saw that there's patchouli in it.
Right, and then the ylang and the geranium.
Yeah.
Very, very
It's
fruity.
very lovely.
Flowery.
It's different.
Mhm.
It's really different. Like, anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Lily, is the sea buckthorn, is this what you told me, and I think I looked it up as well, where if used on its own individually, it can stain your hand,
Yes.
can stain your skin.
It can.
Yeah.
It's very dark, kind of orangish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, and it will.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, it goes away because it just absorbs in. It's kind of like the German chamomile is real blue and makes sure whatever you put it on, blue for a while. But yeah.
Colorful. And then.
Oh, yes, we have to talk about this because this is the big find. Because this was like, what? And then we had to scurry around to find out, where is this? How do we get it? What is it? It just happened. And this is a great new gadget now that Young Living has. It's a diffuser that holds 8 mils of water and essential oils mixed. And it has an on and off button, and it goes for 30 seconds continuously, and it'll turn off automatically. And one reservoir of water and essential oil will last up to 21 cycles. So what this is a portable, compact, battery-powered way to take your oils with you wherever you go. And they talk about it mostly, it fits in the palm of your hand. It's very small, apparently, and it's cord-free. And you can refresh your skin with what you put in it, or just your space, and it suggests using it in the morning or morning or evening with your skincare routine, or even to use it before applying makeup, And certainly while you're traveling, or just, you just always have this like burst of um, water and essential oils spritz that you can produce anytime you want. I'm excited to get this. I have not tried it yet. It says that the cycle is like a 30-second stream of this steam coming out on your face. So
Do you think it would be drippy? I'm just
I
curious.
don't
It'd
know.
be interesting to find out.
I guess that would have to do with
How
the
close-
distance that you held it from your face.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I think it costs like $35,
Mhm.
something like that, which it just seems like a wonderful thing, to have, especially when you're traveling and especially this time of year.
But also think to refresh you when it's so warm outside or sticky and muggy and, you
Right.
know, it's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's your last slide, Lily. Are there
It
any questions for Lily?
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
A lot of those products, do they come in sample sizes?
Huh. I don't think so.
No,
No.
because I have very sensitive skin and I hate to buy something and then I can't use it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Do you know, Vic? I have, or
Not that
Catherine,
I'm
I've
aware
never
of.
seen them.
No.
Marcia, do you know? I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever seen for the art products. I don't know. Well, we'll do some research. We'll check it out.
Okay.
And
Then we'll
if
let you know.
want, I can buy it back from you because I can either resell it or I can use it myself. So you'll always find somebody to.
Yes, that's true too.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So here we are to hands and feet. Catherine, take it away.
Yeah. Last but not least. Okay. Yep. We'll go to the next slide. 3 simple steps, and I mean simple because I'm not I don't like all fussy gussy. I want to get it done, and I want to feel good about it. So yeah, we have exfoliate, cleansing, and cuticle care along with moisturizing. So let's start with exfoliating our feet. 'Tis the season. I don't know about you, but my feet were stuck in boots and shoes and for up until probably about 3 weeks ago. So the first thing I did, though, I have to admit, I did not use a peppermint soak. I used lavender because they were crying. My feet were actually crying. I have since done the peppermint foot scrub because of all the calluses and stuff all over it. And the ingredients to that, again, are the sugar and the baking soda. And the reason for the baking soda is it helps remove some of the dead skin. I used, there's avocado oil. I happen to use coconut oil for that. Is there a problem with the slide?
Wait, one
I mean,
second. I'm sorry.
That's okay. They also say to use apricot oil. Now, you guys live in a more worldly area than I do. I have not seen apricot oil. Does anybody else know anything about apricot oil?
No, I bet we could find it online though.
I guess, yeah. But if you like avocado, or like I say, some people are allergic to coconut. I am not, so I prefer coconut to it. And then you just put 10 drops of your peppermint essential oil in there. And I put it in about a 6-ounce glass jar. Yeah, I combine all the ingredients and I stir it. And it makes 3/4 of a cup of foot scrub. So what do you get from that? I don't know. You get enough for that. You can also, you know what a good idea is? There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
Another good idea is also, it's a great gift, especially during this time where we're getting out our flip-flops. Not you, Deb, but the rest of the world. Deb lives where it's nice and warm all year round, or mostly all year round. So what you would do is put the ingredients together, mix it together, and over a basin or in a tub, apply the foot scrub to the heels and rub gently and scrub away the dry skin. Also, I would do it along the nail, the sides of the nail on your toes. It's also, yeah, just rub it around your toes for extra cleaning, and then rinse really well. And so that's the exfoliant part. And that kind of gets rid of the dead skin. In the beginning of the season, you may want to do that at least twice, 2 or 3 times, to really get that. And then I just do it usually once every 10 days or so, 2 weeks, just to keep up on it. Because when you're in flip-flops or running around the house, I do tend to get, tougher skin. So I just like to feel that. So that's what I do for that. And then we'll go to the cleansing foot soak. I love this one. This is one of my very favoriteest. What you'll need is a cup of Dead Sea salt or Epsom salts. I use Epsom salts primarily. A couple drops of lavender, a couple drops of tree tea, a couple drops of eucalyptus and chamomile. And put it together in a foot tub. And let's see what else. And then mix 1 tablespoon of the oil into the water. Mix the essential oils, together, and then put it in, mix it together with the Epsom salts. And then from that, just take a tablespoon of the mixture and submerge your feet in the water just to soak and relax and just chill. And as you're doing that, kind of envision all the muck and yuck that's in our bodies, just kind of, I say detoxing. I like to just say, you're just getting rid of all the uck that's in our bodies that is allowing to expel out through our feet. And then just, after about 15, 20 minutes, sometimes I sit there for a half hour if I'm engrossed in something because it feels so good. And then I just dry that off. And then, now I don't always do all 3 at the same time, I have to be honest, but I don't. But sometimes I don't have time for it all. But just to know that there are different steps there, and I don't have to do it all the time. Like the exfoliating, I do more so in the beginning of the year, and then I spread it out. As far as the cleansing, when I feel I need to, get some more detoxing, I do that. Now this cuticle care oil. Oh, this is my very, very favoriteest ever. It is 1.5 teaspoons of V6 vegetable oil, which is an oil complex that Young Living sells. And the fatty oils that are in that are coconut, sesame, grapeseed, almond, wheat germ, sunflower, and olive oil. Now, you would think that that is really oily. And it is not. It is not. Then you just add 4 drops of frankincense and 2 drops of myrrh. And you just mix that in a bowl. And then use a cotton ball and put that on your cuticles, both on your feet and your fingers. And just rub it in on each finger. And then I take my fingers and I just rub it in and I rub it in. And then I kind of go down my hands. And you would think that I'm like, when I first did this, I'm like, oh gosh, I have to go on the computer in a little bit. Oh, wait, now what about my phone? And I thought, oh, I'm never going to be it just goes right in. It just goes right in. And it is not oily or greasy at all. So now the other thing that I haven't done it yet, but that's my intention tonight and tomorrow, is to make a big enough batch to put into a 15 millimeter oil bottle and put on the roller on it and keep it by my bedside and just do it every night. That's my goal, and that's what I intend to do tonight. I make a big batch of it. And they say, why to make your own cuticle oil? Well, from sun up to sundown, your hands are hustling. I don't know about yours, but I'm in the garden. Yes, I do wear gloves, but as we all know, it doesn't always work. Between the grocery shopping and the constantly washing and whatever, I just feel our nails and our hands are going through an awful lot. And I just feel that this is just the added little extra care that doesn't take very long at all, that just encompasses your your cuticles to envelop the frankincense, especially, and the myrrh. However, right, Lily? Lily turned me on. Don't have it yet because it's in my order this month, is the rose ointment I want to get for afterwards. You can't see, well, maybe you can. My hands, I never realized how aging they are looking. And although I do put moisturizer on them, I'm going to try the rose ointment to put on afterwards. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try it just to see how my hands are going to feel after all that. So that's the creme de la creme on top of the do it yourself, take care of yourself, love yourself up. We've all been through a rough time and we deserve a little tender loving care. So anybody have any questions or comments or?
Well, I'd like to just say about that it's so phenomenal, the cuticle oils. I mean, it was amazing. I like to keep a lot of my stuff by my bed because I find out that's where I kind of use them if I'm laying there and just kind of whatever, then. So one night I just reached over and got my frankincense and myrrh, but I did it very haphazardly, just put it in the palm of my hand and then put it on my cuticles. And it was amazing. And then I just kind of rubbed my hands together. And of course I had to smell, and I'm thinking, like, what other cuticle remover would you ever want to smell and rub on your hair and your whole body afterwards? It was just amazing. And then, because the rose ointment's always there, I was inclined to, I thought, well, I wonder what that feels like to put on it. It's just wonderful. And my fingers and my hands had such a different kind of feel about them, It was like they woke up or something, And also,
Yeah,
right? And my nails seemed like they weren't as rigid, like they weren't as
right,
dry.
right. Oh,
Weren't
that's
as
true
dry.
too. Yeah, my nails felt so much stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
my
healthier.
new pampering thing. I just find if I keep a lot of the stuff by my bed, I'm more likely to use it at night,
And I didn't always do it on my toenails as much, but I will tell you, just giving your toenails that little extra
I bet.
rub and that, felt wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for that recipe.
We all have new routines to try.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you before I stop sharing the screen and we can see one another again. I think most of you know how to reach us if you need to, but there's our contact information. And I'm going to...
Before you do that, before you take the screen down, can you go back to Catherine's foot soaking formula?
This one? Oh, the soaking. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, so I was getting a little confused. So Catherine, you're mixing all the oils into the sea salt, into the Epsom salt, and then just putting that into.
And then just use like a I don't know, about a teaspoon into the water, warm water.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Right. So Irma, it's always better to mix your essential oils with the Epsom salts and have it mix in there. It'll then disperse into the water much more readily.
Yeah.
Instead of just like dropping drops in.
Right.
Well, what a great idea to do tonight.
Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it?
I have a question for Catherine.
Sure.
I feel like I'm very interested in the food and the cuticle care oils. So these ingredients that I see on the screen, how do I get that? How do I get to so that I know how to mix up all that? First of all, I think I need to buy the essential oils and all that because I don't have it. So.
Okay, that would be a good start.
Yeah, start there.
Start right there.
Yes,
and,
Lily, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
And these oils are pretty inexpensive here. And the Epsom salts you can get at any drugstore or I don't know.
Absolutely, I use Epsom salt a lot. Yeah, I know where to get. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a go-to for me all the time. I always have tons of that on. But yeah, you may want to look into the lavender and the tree tea and the eucalyptus because there's so many other uses for the oils that are in there. that you
Mm.
won't use it just for this,
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Yeah.
you know?
And the frankincense and myrrh, well, I think it's the myrrh that you're really enjoying, Lily, at night, right?
The myrrh is a wonderful
Yes.
sleep aid.
Very, very quick. Yes, it'll take you away. So
Yes. But you know, you use it. I use it during the day when I'm feeling really super anxious and
okay.
I just can't get a grip, you know. I'll use some myrrh and just like a drop or two, and then I'll put it just right like in that little depression at the bottom of the skull and the back, top of the neck,
Your
that
brain
depression
stem,
there. You
right.
just rub it in there and then of course smell it. It's a great oil for the skin, especially mature skin.
But it's very resinous, so it's a very, very thick oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of it.
No.
And if you know, I've had this happen where, you know, maybe I haven't used it for a while, it'll seal up to the point where you won't be able to open it. It's that resinous.
Yeah.
So all you do is just take a pot, a shallow pot, put a little bit of water in it, heat the water up, and then just put your bottle of myrrh in there and it'll, you know, it makes it liquid again, but it will firm really quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Lily, I'm interested in that. Did you say it's marula oil that's from South Africa?
Yeah, I was I was going to ask you when you first came on if you knew about it.
No, that's interesting. That sounds
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Now,
going to stop the share, but if anyone wants to see a slide again, I can easily bring them back. So are we good with that?
sure.
Okay, there.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, Mr. Bangalay, if that was familiar to you.
It's,
Marula.
it's not, but there's so much good in South Africa. So it must be one of those good ones that I'm not familiar with, because I mean it's like the tea, the what do you call it, the rooibos tea. I'm just mentioning
Oh, yes.
that I
yeah.
found out that it's so, when I was in South Africa, we were just drinking it and not paying attention that it's such a good product. And when I came here, everybody was talking about rooibos and all that. I'm like, yeah, we just, what? It's in South Africa, like it's just an ordinary tea. So marula might be one of those that are there, and I never paid attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Juna, thank you. I see that you joined us on the call. Welcome.
Hi, hi, so great to see you. I lost track of time and then all of a sudden I looked up and it was like, oh my God. So anyway, so great to see you.
Oh
And
my God.
recipe.
Eunice my Reiki master.
Oh.
I haven't seen forever.
Oh, how wonderful, essential oils. And how do you get the rose ointment for your hands? How do you do that? How much is it?
It's about $24, I think.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive for
And
what
then
it does and how long it lasts. It lasts a long time.
And so what, to just email you or what?
Yeah, I can help you get them.
Okay. Anyway, so great to see you, and I'm so happy you're doing this work with the plants. It's awesome.
I know. I love the plants.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, much love to you.
I'm gonna get in touch with you, Lily.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
have my number, my contact info, Sabangale?
Can you email that to me?
Or email me.
I will.
Yeah.
Can you put that
You want that screen back up?
Yeah, maybe the last one then.
I will do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Are we good?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, so much.
Yeah.
being here.
Oh, Marcia, did you want to add anything? I know that you're a real art product.
Unmute yourself, Marcia. Marcia, unmute yourself.
Unmute. Uh-oh.
Unmute.
There she goes.
There you go. Okay.
Yes, I love the age refined technology art.
Yeah, I know you've been using it for a while. Yeah.
For years and years and years. In fact, I'm interested in something to tighten, the throat area. And whenever I started with the art, that helped. That did help. But I'm wondering about the rose ointment or this other one you recommended. What was it? The heavier one.
The intensive.
Intensive moisturizer.
I'm wondering if that would be good for tightening the throat.
Well, did that have the hyaluronic acid in it, or is that in
No, the
the
hyaluronic is in
toner
the mask,
or the mask? Okay.
cream mask, which is
Maybe
a great mask because it's really, really light. Like I
Okay.
said, I could put it on and I forget that it's there, but so it kind of firms up a little, and it's really lovely. That's the one with the hyaluronic acid, and that
Did you
does,
also mention the one that had the blue hibiscus?
that's the moisturizer, the intensive moisturizer.
Right, and that you said was called
The Botox plant.
Botox. So that may be a good choice.
Yeah.
So that would be the one I want to get.
The intensive moisturizer has it's called a bluebird hibiscus. And yeah, you could go online and read about it. They call it the Botox plant because it has a very firming.
Sounds like that's what I need.
Yeah, and it's in that. It's in the intensive moisturizer. And just to say,
Where do we find that?
you can go to my Young Living website and you can look at all the products there, ART products. And this is the one we're talking about,
There.
the intensive moisturizer.
So
And
Lily,
you
it
can also-
almost sounds like you need to have a private little consultation with a couple of people just to help them
Sure,
Yeah.
find.
I'm definitely available for that. But you can go to my website, my Young Living website, which was on the slide when Vicki put up the contact pieces, and you could read about it there. But just to say, there's other products. There's other face products, that I just kind of have gotten stuck on these, but I know that there's other ones as well, like this is the intense moisturizer. There's one that's not, that's kind of light, So there's a lot of other things. There's another mask that I've never used that apparently is on some kind of cloth or something. Have you ever used that, Marcia?
I have not.
Yeah, I have never used it either. So there's other things, but I can speak to these because I've used them. So yeah. Anyway, I'm very happy to help anyone. Just call me or email me, or like I said, you can go on that website and look at all the Young Living products there. But I'm happy to assist you however I can.
I have a quick question. Because I have such sensitive skin, I just use straight coconut oil on my legs. Plus I have a thyroid issue, so my skin is very dry. What would be a good oil to add to the coconut oil? Just the...
What comes to mind is lavender because it's really great for the skin.
Yeah.
Right? But depends what you're trying to go, you know what I mean? Like if you're, there's always frankincense and,
Which is good for the skin also.
yeah, or sandalwood or cedar wood. It depends on what your need is at the time, if you're needing to be relaxed, if you need to be focused, if you're just chilling out. I mean, that's sort of how I choose my oils, depending on, how I'm feeling, or maybe how I don't want to be feeling how I'm feeling. Which is what I discovered today about Hinoki. I never knew. Juna, did you know about Hinoki and Reiki? Were you here on the call when I talked about that? because in Japan, it's a Japanese cypress and it's used traditionally in healing work. And I read about it in a Reiki book, Hinoki, and how they use it, smudge it or just disperse it, you know. But it's very, very relaxing. It supports feelings of calm and relaxation. And it's wonderful because it's evergreen, so it gives you that like deep grounding thing. You know, whenever I smell an evergreen, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm back in my body, kind of, you know. So you sort of be in your body, but be in a bigger space, maybe. Yeah.
Lily, can you hold that bottle up to your screen?
Hinoki.
Hinoki.
Can't see it. Hold
It's
on. I can see.
Hinoki.
Ah, there you are.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Wonderful. I like to keep my oils around where I am the most. So I have a bunch of them on my desk because I'm always, you know, I'm here a lot, so I can reach over, you know, and get them, and and then by my bed as well, you know. Because sometimes at night, like I'll just watch the news or something like that, you know, and so it's kind of like, oh, I'll just do this. The thing is, I think we really have to just make a commitment to doing things for ourselves, you know, because we know what works, you know. I had somebody say that the other day, you know. I'm like, I know, you know, but like, what is that stops you from giving it to yourself, you know? And that's
Well, I
really
think
what it is. Just giving it. It's a gift.
one of the things, Lily, you've taught me in the very beginning, because I wanted instant gratification now. And you said, no, it comes from the earth and you have to allow it to work. You have to be consistent with it. And then just even if you're consistent with it, you may have to change to something else later. And only by knowing your body and knowing what it's like. And then I said something to you one time, well, what oil would I use for that? And you said, I don't know, go over and see what's calling you.
Mhm.
And I sat with an intention and I thought, oh, this is the one I want. And I smelled it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one I want. And so I think it's, you know, again, we've had this time to be in touch with our bodies and what is it asking for? What does it want? What does it need? What will make us happy? What will bring us a little joy? Only we can answer that. And I think we have the opportunity here of finding things that are natural for us and not harmful. I know, Debbie, you were saying that you have some allergies to certain things, and so you have to be real careful with that for sure. And, you know, it's not going to be for everybody, but I think there's always somebody out there that will be able to utilize it or use it somehow. So I wouldn't get too crazy about that. But we're worth trying to find out what works for us. And I've had the best teachers in the world to guide me through all this, and they're always there. And I'm just so blessed. So thank you. Just sorry I had to let you know that.
It's so true. That's one of the things I really love about the oils is it really nurtures and brings up and trust for your own intuition and your own knowing. I mean, who knows your body better than you? What you need in the moment, you know, but it's like, okay, you know that, but how do you get from that to like really giving it to yourself? You know, that's the journey.
The challenge.
Yeah, that's part of the journey, is just loving yourself enough to just give it to yourself. Mm.
There's a quote we can end on unless anyone has any more questions or statements or.
I'm going to do a foot bath tonight.
No, I
Yeah.
thank you, three ladies. It was always wonderful.
Well, thank you for being here as well.
Somehow, you just learn something all the time.
Well, and we do every time we do something, we do research and we learn something we didn't know before. So to me, no matter how many years I've been doing essential oils or working with them, there's so much more to learn. So
Yeah.
just be open to that, to know that we don't have all the answers, but you know.
And being
Find out.
together, you know, learning what works for you and how you use it. And,
Right.
you know, it's a learning. That's why your being here is so helpful. And helping grow.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
glad I
you.
joined. I'm glad I really joined tonight.
So we'll be back again with another interesting presentation. We have a
We're
fun
not
one we think we're going to
failing.
do. So
Yeah.
we hope you'll join us. We'll let you know when we're going to have it.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank
Um,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Love you all. Thank you for taking time to give this to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone stay well and stay oiled.
Safe and
Stay
healthy.
oil. Oh, wait, Vicky, show your shirt.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Show your shirt, Vic.
so
What does it say?
keep calm. I have an oil for that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Where did you get it from, Vicky?
No, well, Irma, Lily, and I did a big event with Johnson & Johnson a couple of years ago. And we had a booth and we were doing Reiki on people and Lily, I don't know what else we were doing, but we had the shirts made so we would, you know, and my contact information is on the back. So I really have to be careful where I wear this because my phone number
I love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, ladies.
Oh, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Love you guys,
Thank you,
ladies.
everyone.
More later.